Welcome back, everybody. It's Primetime Acting Sports. We're here again. We got Ryan Pierce, our sports analytic lead. He's giving us a rundown on our San Diego Padres. Ryan, how's it going? Long time no talk.
It's going great, man. I think the whole city of San Diego caught that Padres fever this time around. Come playoff time, there's Padre jerseys all around downtown. Everywhere you went, people were shouting out the Padres, and it really feels good to have, have a team in San Diego winning games for us again.
Yeah, it was a historic run. What was our first playoff appearance in 14 years or something like that?
Yep, first one since 06.
Yeah, and I know we talked, we did a Padres preview a couple months ago, and people were hyped on that. Not a lot of people believed the hype, though. You did, though, and a lot of people are saying you're right. Like I just said, the first playoff run in 14 years, and it was just kind of fantastic. What was your whole breakdown, I guess, before the playoffs? What was I know you weren't a too big fan of Will Myers, but, he came out the show. So give me just your whole feedback and thoughts on just the whole Padres regular season.
Yeah, man. So I really thought the Padres are going to benefit the most from having a 60-game regular season. I feel like that will always favor the lesser teams, the younger teams, because you have less time to, toil away during that stretch during the heat of summer. And, less games is better for the Padres. So that's why I was always saying at the beginning that I feel like this was going to be our year. It didn't pan out, in a World Series, but it did pan out in that playoff experience, which was really, really good. So, yeah, in terms of the players, man, I know I called out Will Myers pretty hard before the season started, but he really proved all the haters wrong. He was probably your third best batter behind Machado and Tatis. He ended the 60 games. He had 40 RBIs. He had 15 home runs. He batted 288, second highest batting average on the team. So I really think that Will Myers pretty much showed all the haters wrong.
Yeah, including you. So shout out to Will Myers. You mentioned the short season. They ended 37-23. But going on to the playoffs, you kind of look at the early season or the early playoffs against the Cardinals. People were kind of down on us. I know, we turned off our streams a couple times here and there. Then goes to show Padres just heating up. They conquered. They get on the next round where they met their match in the Dodgers. What was your perspective on, the Cardinals series and the Dodgers series just in a whole?
Cronenworth with a big swing here, sends it out towards deep right center field. Carlson, the center fielder, going back at the wall. He leaps, it's gonna go! Jake Cronenworth leaves the yard. A moonshot up over the 396 sign to the right of straightaway center field. His first career postseason home run, and it's an add-on in the bottom of the eighth. 4-0 San Diego.
Cardinals down to their last out. They have one 4-run comeback all season. That came September 19th against Pittsburgh.
Here, 2 out, 4-0 Padres. Strike 3 called. This ball game belongs to my San Diego Padres. Your Padres are moving on to the 2020 National League Division Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers in Arlington, Texas.
We didn't really get a lot out of our starters. So both Paddock and Davies in both games 1 and 2 both gave up, I think, 4 runs in, their first couple innings, which really put us in a hard place. Clinched out game 3 using, a real platoon where we're changing out pitchers every couple at bats, and really went in there with, some style. We really went in there with some style in terms of the hitting after game 2. And that was a really hard fought series. And then, like you said, we got to the next round and, we met our match in the Dodgers. I really think that, given some good starting pitching, if we had Lamet and Clevinger, I feel like we would have been a lot more competitive in that series. I think the Dodgers are a really good baseball team. They're showing that. Mookie Betts is an all-star. He's really, really good, leading off that order. So, respect to the Dodgers. I'm just going to really just hang my hat on a successful Padres season with a young team. We have guys locked down for multiple years. Manny Machado is going to be here for a while. We're going to need to lock down Tatis to an extension. So I really saw this season as a building block for the forward, moving forward. So, I'm not really too mad about the way it ended. I'm really just hopeful for the future.
You mentioned, Tatis being locked down. I know there's contract talks right now in the works. You mentioned just kind of youth of this team and just kind of that, not really necessarily inexperience, but just the lack of playoff experience between all the players on our roster. And, given the circumstances, depending on how this next season pans out, they have the experience. They know what it takes to get the playoffs. They know what it's like to face a juggernaut. It's like the Patriots in the NFL. You got to get over that hump if you want to make it far. And with the possibility of doing so, if we are healthy and we kind of have that more like veteran mentality underneath their belt, there might be a chance to improve. So I got to agree with you on that. And it's been a successful year. I think it's really hard to kind of walk away and be aggravated with the Padres. Like, yeah, we didn't win it, but we honestly didn't expect to win it. I mean, obviously a couple of us did, but you take a step back and you just got to appreciate what all the players did, and shout out to all the young bucks, and hopefully we can stay healthy. That's kind of the San Diego curse, just health.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit it on the head. It's one thing to get a taste of success and make the playoffs, but we're really talking about sustained success here when we're talking about moving forward. I think that the batting lineup is in a good place. I don't really think a whole lot of changes need to be made there. I know there's a couple guys that are free agents, but the meat of our lineup's still going to be here next season. I think the Padres need to go ahead and target a starting pitcher in the offseason, whether that's Trevor Bauer. But I think Chris Paddock showed this season that he might not. Maybe he was injured. I don't know, but he had a really bad season after going in as our number one. We got Clevenger for next year. Lamette's looking like he's going to be an all-star here. So I really think we just need to lock down one or two more starting pitchers and shore up that rotation.
Sky's the limit, right? All right, so here's a question I've been wanting to ask for a long time. Who is your Padres MVP? You can include the playoff, you can include the regular season, or you can do separate. But who is your MVP of the Padres this season?
Yeah, man. So I'm going to go with the unpopular choice here. I think a lot of people would have said Tatis. He's electric. He makes plays in the infield that, not a whole lot of guys ever have been able to do. He really showed up with the bat this year. He hit 17 home runs, 45 RBIs. He batted, right around 280. So he really showed that he has what it takes to be a superstar in this league. But personally, my MVP is going to be Manny Machado. I mean, he cranked out 47 RBIs. He batted above 300, and he really proved himself as, that $300 million man that we really thought he was going to be when he came to San Diego. So, it's just Manny being Manny.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good stepping stone towards a successful team that we want to build. San Diego pride, baby.
There we go. All right. Well, we have to talk about it because the talk of the town right now, especially between you and I, 17th championship going to the LA Lakers. Long time. It's been a while. I know it's only 10 years, but that feels like an eternity for us. What are your thoughts about the NBA Finals where you're looking at LeBron, Davis, White, your key to the championship, KCP? What was your whole take on that thing?
Man, I'm so hyped. I don't know how you look at this finals and just can't appreciate LeBron for what he is, man. He's, approaching his late 30s and he's still there, being the best player in a series. I think you hit it on the head. The people's champ, KCP. I called it out. He was my key to the championship, KCP. He really showed up in the finals, and I was super hyped on it.
Is that Contavious Caldwell Pope is going to be the key to the championship. Right now, he's leading the Lakers in three-point percentage.
You gotta give respect to the Heat. But yeah, like I said, the Lakers, LeBron, still the best player in the world. The Clippers, everyone saw how fake they were. And I really, it was a really satisfying bubble experience for any Lakers fan, especially I think me and you. It's kind of sharing that hatred for the Clippers as well as, the love for the Lakers as well.
It was a long, long ride, but hey, at the end, it was all worth it. And you mentioned kind of with Anthony Davis too, I got you before I let you go. He averaged 25 and 11 boards, basically 10.7. But if they want to run this back, what do they have to do to place themselves in that title contention once more next season?
Man, I think it's pretty easy. I think we got, two of the top 6 or 7 best players in the NBA right now in LeBron and AD. And it's really just going to be figuring out those other pieces. So if players leave to go get money elsewhere, like I just said about KCP, maybe Dwight goes and tries to get money elsewhere. We don't really have a whole lot of cap space after, AD and LeBron's contracts. So it's really just to see how Rob Pelinka fills out the rest of the roster. But I think it's the building blocks are there when you have LeBron and AD on your team. So I'm not really too worried about it.
Yeah, and a lot of players are going to come to that because you got LeBron and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is going to be the head honcho for years to come. That's what it seems like. So it's just a matter of fact, if someone else wants to play the third man, like Dolph has been saying, with Bradley Beal, something along those lines where someone wants to kind of take the step back that Kuzma was supposed to do and show up there. Maybe Kuzma will come to his own, but I didn't see too much. But, well, Ryan, it's always a pleasure. Is there anything else you want to shout out? You want to shout anyone out? You want to shout any players, teams, anything in particular, going into mid-October?
Yeah, man, I think just our Chargers, man, just doing Charger things. I'll put that guy over there just blowing that lead. But Justin Herbert looks like the truth. Primetime Sports
Boy,
fans,
Herb.
keep it real. Let's go Padres.
All right, Ryan. Well, it's been a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon when we watch this Week 6 of the NFL. Until next time, guys, we out.